Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you're all having a good day. In today's episode, having just enchanted our first tools, we've got ourselves an efficiency 4 pickaxe now and a much better bow. I want to get a few more XP levels so we can do a little bit more enchanting and potentially get hold of a little bit better gear than we have been working with so far. Potentially even enchant some of our armor here, get enchantments on the sword and the shovel, and that kind of thing. So I thought we could do something fun in today's episode and return to the abandoned mineshaft that we found across the ocean in the lush cave that we previously explored, but I decided to hold off on exploring it at the time because I figured it'd make a good topic for an episode like today's. Before we leave, I'm going to put away any of the non-essential stuff that I've got on me. I'm probably going to leave some raw beef cooking in the smoker for when I get back. We'll probably even leave this iron shovel here for a little bit later. We'll leave the paper down there as well. We don't really need to bring too many blocks or this chest with us, so I'll just pop everything in here for now, and that way we can go there fully equipped. I think we'll probably leave the iron sword there as well. All we need is a boat, the tools we've got on us, a little bit of wood since we are going caving, and I think we're ready to go. While we row across the ocean from spawn to our destination, I'll also mention the fact that we are now playing in Minecraft 1.18.1. Mojang has released a recent update with a couple of bug fixes, including one that's kind of essential for security if you play on multiplayer servers, so it is worth making sure you update to the latest version. I would recommend making a backup of your world first before you do, just in case anything goes wrong. From the main menu, just click on single player, select your world and click edit, and then click on make backup, and that way you can be guaranteed that before you open your world in the new version, it's going to be backed up in case anything goes wrong when you upgrade. But most of the time, Mojang wouldn't release a new version of the game if they weren't confident that it was going to be compatible with your old worlds. So while it's usually safe to do, probably best to back up your worlds just in case, because you don't want to run into any unexpected problems. And so hopefully that's all clear for you folks. You might also notice a couple of changes in how the world looks visually, particularly when it comes to fog, because apparently the distance of the fog in the background has been pushed back a little bit. We're still seeing a couple of things pop up in the fog in the distance, like that hill over there with the trees, but it seems like that is now a little further from the player, so you have a bit more visibility on higher render distances. I'm pretty sure it was this ravine over here that we stepped down into to find the lush cave before, so let's hop on down into the water stream, and I'll make my way to that lush cave and give you the coordinates once I'm there. So here is our little entrance to the lush cave, including that pillar of cobblestone that we left on our way out, and you'll notice that thanks to the efficiency 4 enchantment on my pickaxe, I'm now able to mine blocks a lot faster. Previously, you had a little bit of time with the break animation before you would break the block and pick it up. Now, that is a lot faster, meaning that we'll be able to dig around here and gather some materials a little bit quicker. This is, of course, going to mean the durability on my pickaxe goes down a little faster because we are simply breaking blocks a little faster, and every block we break decreases the durability of the pickaxe by 1, but we're hopefully going to be able to do something about that in the near future. Now, over here is the beginning of the abandoned mineshaft, at least as far as we found it the other day, and I'm going to pop the coordinates on screen. This is at -267, Y level 3, so pretty far down in the world, and Z 172. And mineshafts do not generate at exactly the same location in different world seeds. They will pop up all over the world in different places, but if you're exploring your world in Java Edition and you're using the same world seed that I am, you're likely to encounter an abandoned mineshaft in precisely the same place. We're going to keep our wits about us when we explore this place, of course, because over there we see a lot of cobwebs, and that might lead to our first monster spawner encounter. But first of all, I'm going to look around here, and there's already so many goodies in the walls around here. Look at all the different ores we have available to us, and look at the zombies coming up to attack us. Alright, one thing at a time. Let's grab some of the resources from this area, including the diamonds, the lapis, and the redstone from up there as well. I think those are going to be very nice to have. I'm also now using my bow. We got the take aim advancement there for shooting something with a bow for the first time. Kind of unbelievable that I haven't used a bow until now, actually, but now we have infinity on the bow. I shot that zombie with 2 arrows, but I still have 15 arrows in my inventory. Infinity is such a useful enchantment, especially in the early days when you don't have a reliable supply of renewable arrows, so I think it's a very good thing that we've got hold of Infinity this early. So let's grab the diamonds. You'll notice that ore blocks even break ever so slightly faster when you have efficiency, so this should be nice and easy to tidy up, and it looks like we've got 5 diamonds right there. Fantastic stuff. Let's see if this zombie is going to come down and play. Yep, there we go. Got a little bit cornered there, but managed to take him out. And yeah, let's hop up here to get the redstone and the lapis as well. Mining ores like this has got to be one of my favorite ways to get experience in the early game, because it also means that you come away with a bunch of different resources. And there are things which will allow us to multiply the resources we get from ore blocks once we start enchanting a few more things, because an enchantment called Fortune is really what I'm after. We can get a lot more resources out of ore blocks with that, but I'm hoping to re-enchant this pickaxe later to get hold of Fortune. And if that doesn't happen with the diamonds we've got on us, we can now make another pickaxe and potentially enchant something different for another go at Fortune. And with all those ores collected, it's time to return to the Abandoned Mineshaft. You will recognize these structures by the fact that they have wooden walkways and these support beams and pillars all over the place. You'll also find cobwebs around here which you can break using a sword or some shears. Breaking it with a sword will drop string, while shears will drop the cobweb itself. I believe you can also break them by flooding them with water like that, so a quick water bucket can clear out a large area of cobwebs if you need to. Abandoned Mineshaft will have rails on the floor like this, which we can actually collect if we want to use those with minecarts a little bit later. And speaking of minecarts, we have a Minecart Chest right here, which will generate with a bunch of loot in it. This includes a few more rails, a few loose pieces of lapis, which we'll definitely gather up, some glowberries, which will help us propagate those cave vines and glowberries growing in the ceiling. We've got Activator Rails, which are a different type of rail, more like a redstone component, and a name tag. Name tags are very cool. You can get them in a number of ways, including fishing, finding them in loot chests like we just did, and trading with villagers, and they essentially allow you to name tag a mob, so its name will appear over its head, and in some cases this has certain mechanical implications for the game, which we'll get into a little bit later on. For now, if we want to, we can break this minecart chest with a pickaxe, and we also get the minecart and the chest back from that. We can even recombine them for now if we want to save a little bit of inventory space. One of the coolest things about exploring abandoned mineshafts is that the tunnels in the rock have already been cut for you. So much like exploring a natural cave, you can explore an abandoned mineshaft to the extent where it's uncovered rare resources for you. In this case, though, it looks like the mineshaft has ended here, and we can gather a little bit of gold, but this seems like natural cave generation from here, with bits of the mineshaft looping back around into it further down. So we will need to head in the other direction, and that's what I've been afraid of, really, because over here there is a huge mass of cobwebs, and we can see some flames in the darkness. That is a monster spawner, and not just any monster spawner. The monster spawners you find in abandoned mineshafts will always generate cave spiders. We've encountered regular spiders before, but cave spiders are a poisonous variant of that mob. If they attack you, they will try to poison you. And I get the sense we're about to encounter one as I come around the corner here. I can hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet, but that is not a good thing right now. And I hear some spiders dropping off the walls around us. I want to keep my wits about me here. Yep, there we go. We've got a cave spider running at us. Now, I'll let it bite me just so you can see the poison effect. There we go. And now I need to make sure that I eat some food and heal up, because natural regeneration will actually save you from this poison effect. It's usually fairly light. You just need to make sure that you're not being attacked by anything while the poison is taking effect, because chances are another mob might come in and finish you off. Now, in darkness, these monster spawners will continue to generate cave spiders, but if we place a torch or some other kind of light source nearby, these monster spawners are actually disabled by light being nearby, or more accurately, mobs still need a dark enough space to spawn around one of these spawners in order for them to pop up. And we can destroy these blocks with a pickaxe. They'll drop a little bit of XP, but the block will be destroyed for good. You can't obtain it or move it in any way, and so these monster spawners are things that you might want to leave where they are for now, since if we can control how some of these spiders generate and where they generate, we can farm them, both for the string that the spiders will drop and for experience. And considering that the whole purpose of this trip was to come here for experience, that doesn't seem like such a bad idea. However, I still think there are better ways to get experience than from a bunch of poisonous spiders, so for now I'm just going to leave this area lit up and hope that we don't encounter too many more spiders in the process. Continuing to explore the mineshaft here, there are a couple of torches already lighting up the structure, so we need to take note of which torches we have placed and which torches are naturally generated. I just picked up an iron ingot from a zombie, which is really good luck actually. Iron ingots are occasional rare drops from zombies. And we have another mineshaft chest here, which has even more iron for us, along with some rails, some bread, an enchanted book, which is a really nice find, and some melon seeds, which is also really cool because we don't have access to melons yet. Now, thanks to this minecart chest, we do. My inventory's getting a little bit full here, so I might leave some of the junk items in this chest instead of picking it up, and hopefully we'll be able to return and grab some of that stuff if we need it later. I'll continue to explore the twists and turns of the abandoned mineshaft here, basically anywhere you see rails or wood placed in the world. Occasionally you'll find places where glow vines are floating, and down here there's actually another spider spawner, which is quite cool actually. It might be within activation range of the other spider spawner, which is just over there, so we'll try and preserve this one as well, just in case we can set up two spider spawners working side by side. But once again, placing a torch on top of that should disable the spawning radius, and we might occasionally get some cave spiders who've already spawned, lurking down here in the shadows. There's even another one down here, it looks like. This wall of cobwebs usually indicates that there is a spider spawner nearby, and we'll place a torch there to light it up. We'll step back a little bit, there we go, and thankfully the punch bow means that we can get a little bit of extra knockback on our attacks on these cave spiders. We can clear out this area, and it looks like there are a couple of cave spider spawners that will at least be in close proximity to each other, so we can activate them both at once and maybe funnel all of the spiders from both spawners into a single place that we can kill them easily and get all their loot. Abandoned mineshafts can also be a really useful thing if you're low on wood while you're exploring some of these caves, because of course the wooden planks everywhere can be taken out of the abandoned mineshafts and broken down into sticks for torches or any other wooden items you might need while you're here. If you've not brought any wood with you and you need a crafting table, pretty much instantly solves that problem. In areas where the mineshaft opens out into a larger cave like this one, you might even find oak wood logs supporting some of the walkways of the abandoned mineshafts, which can be incredibly useful to you if you're down here in the levels where coal does not spawn, but you can make charcoal out of those logs. So despite these mineshafts and caves being potentially a dangerous environment, especially with all the cave spider spawners around, they can be incredibly useful structures to find while you're on a caving expedition. And in this case, there's a few more diamonds back there that I'll double back and gather later. There we go, let's see how many we get from this vein. Looks like it might just be the one diamond ore. That can happen occasionally. Not to worry though, one diamond is better than none. Here we go, right here is a little intersection which has a couple of oak logs in it. We'll break those down and bring them with us because we could turn those into charcoal if we wanted to, especially if we run out of torches. A couple of other useful tips for taking on an abandoned mineshaft like this. First of all, I recommend breaking out the middle sections of any areas where you have these crossroads with oak plank pillars on each corner. This gives you a little bit more visibility around the corners just in case a creeper is hiding back here and would be concealed otherwise, and it's also really good to pick up the wood as you go because then you can turn the planks into sticks for torches and so forth. I recommend grabbing stuff from any minecart chests you see because they've always got useful loot in. We've also got some beetroot seeds here which I'm actually going to grab because I think those will be perfect for messing around with a little bit later. And in any areas like this where you hear a lot of spider noise, it might be worth exploring because chances are there's another spider spawner nearby. Just be careful when you break through to that upper part of the cave though, because there might be a lot of spiders waiting for you, and that poison effect is no joke. Occasionally, regular spiders will still spawn in these mineshafts though, so the spider noises you hear might be coming from the non-poisonous kind. Yeah, we do have another cave spider spawner up there, and wow, okay, yep, that has unleashed all of the spiders in my direction. Hey, no worries though, as long as we're not backing into a creeper or anything like that, we should be okay. And we can break this block out and place a torch underneath it, and it should have a similar effect lighting up the environment here. Let's get a couple of quick shots off with the bow to make sure that we don't have to worry about the cave spiders. This mineshaft has a ton of spider spawners though, so I'm quite glad that I've been saving them as I go because there's a chance that we could make a really effective spider farm here. If you spot a cluster of spiders up near the ceiling, it's usually a good idea to take them out using a bow from a distance, and arrows can shoot through cobwebs very effectively, so you don't need to worry too much about not being able to reach them if you can bullseye them from a safe distance. And it looks like the last spider is just hiding up there. There we go. What a shot. Fantastic. Now all we should need to do is explore the area to make sure that the rest of the spiders are taken care of. And I might even take the coordinates of each of the spider spawners by pressing F3 and then taking a screenshot with F2 so that we can check the coordinates of each of them and return to this spot if we want to try and make a farm out of all of these spider spawners in future. But that'll be a project for a little way down the line. For now, I want to keep exploring because there's a chance of finding some really cool loot in here, including a golden apple. That's definitely going to be worth saving. Golden apples are very nice food, actually. They end up giving you extra status effects that help with protecting you against threats, and they can regenerate your health, which is super vital if you're fighting tougher enemies later. And it looks like we've come out on the other side of the ravine from the part of the mineshaft we were exploring earlier, so it looks like the mineshaft has wound back around and has a few more nooks and crannies that we can investigate. Let's not forget what we came here for, though. I'm here to grab some resources so I can get a bit more XP. So I think we'll grab a few more things from the walls of the abandoned mineshaft here. I'm ignoring the copper for now because I really don't have much room to carry it with all the other loot I've got on me, but I think it should be enough to grab a few more resources from the walls of this abandoned mineshaft. We can take all the loot back to the house, recap what we've got, and then maybe we'll have another go at enchanting a diamond pickaxe. Once we got a feel for the loot we can get here, though, you'll be able to figure out which things you want to prioritize. Like in this case, I'm bringing all the bread with me because we're getting quite a lot of it. We've got a couple of gold ingots, we've got rails, Activator Rails here, and a second golden apple. That's fantastic. I think we might even end up leaving the moss here now, because we know we can duplicate moss back at home, so I can bring the gold with me if we encounter any more. But the mineshaft still intersects with this lush cave biome, and in some cases it might have other offshoots that lead in different directions, so it's always worth exploring these things thoroughly if you've got the inventory space to do that. Just be careful if you run into areas like this, because a fall like that will definitely kill a player, so it's pretty important to watch your step in places like this where the walkways can be suspended over an enormous drop. Alright, we've just run out of torches, so I don't really have much else I can light up the area with, but I think we've also run out of abandoned mineshaft to explore. This one seems like quite a compact mineshaft unless it disappears off behind a rock wall somewhere that I don't know about. I'm going to follow the torches on the right that I've been placing while we've been exploring here, and hopefully that should lead me back to the entrance. Oh, what a treat though. That mineshaft was great. I'm sure we will come back there because there were so many good cave spider spawner opportunities. I think we'll probably be getting familiar with that location sometime in future. It's not too far away from my base as well, which is kind of perfect actually. Just a little bit more iron to swipe from this area, and if we were feeling lucky we could even investigate some of the caves that lead a bit further down, but I don't want to push our luck right now. Once again, my inventory is very full of stuff I don't really want to chuck away, so I think we'll make our way out. Okay, we're back, and it's time to put away some of the naturally occurring resources like the stone and the deep slate. We'll pop those in here for later. We'll put some of the wood and stuff away as well, and then we'll take a look at all of the riches that we've acquired in our mineshaft expedition. We used this chest for all of our caving loot last time, so maybe we'll come up here and we'll use one of the chests that I put up here. There we go. So let's take a look at what we got from the mineshaft there. We got a bunch of diamonds and lapis. Those are very nice. We've got some gold, and we got some raw gold here as well, which I think should probably go in the blast furnace. Or maybe we'll cook the iron in the blast furnace because there's more of it, and we'll cook the gold in the regular furnace, and those should be done closer to the same time. Wonderful that we got enough of that, though. We got a bunch of string from breaking down all of those cobwebs. We got some redstone dust as well. A little bit of lush cave loot like the glowberries and the clay and so forth. These rails are actually really good to have in great supply because rails can be crafted, but that takes a lot of iron, so it's nice to have a few rails grabbed from those minecart loot chests, and we've even got a chest as a souvenir to bring back with us. And we even have beetroot and melon seeds, which we're going to plant in another episode to expand our farm into other crops that we can grow. So look out for that in a future episode of the series. And finally, we got a Luck of the Sea 1 book and some name tags along with a little bit of extra food. The Luck of the Sea book we're probably going to stash in a chest in the basement, since we won't need that yet, but we might return to that when we make an episode about fishing. So we'll put that in this chest here above the mob drops and mob loot chest, which is where I think we'll put the name tags for now, because name tags are used to name specific mobs. We'll get onto that a little bit later, and we'll put the seeds in this chest where I've been storing more organic things like crops and saplings and so forth. For now, though, we're going to return to the diamonds. With 3 more diamonds here, we'll probably make another diamond pickaxe, because overall, I think it is worth having more than one diamond pick, because there are multiple different enchantments we can get, which we can't put on the same pickaxe, but are very, very useful to us. So we'll get to those a little bit later. For now, I want to see what the enchantment table gives us on a fresh diamond pickaxe, and that is exactly what I was hoping for. Fortune 3. Fortune is the enchantment I was talking about earlier, which will allow us to get more items out of any of the ore blocks that we break, along with a variety of other blocks in the game, but the ore blocks are, of course, the focus of using a pickaxe. So we're going to get Fortune 3 on this pickaxe in this episode if we possibly can, and for that we'll need a little bit more XP, which we'll hopefully get from grabbing the items out of these furnaces. In the meantime, we can do a little bit more tidying up, and I'll start putting all of these resources together with the ones that we encountered in the previous episode. We'll throw the iron in there. I'm going to bring the diamonds down. This is going to be our precious resources chest for now, until we get enough of them that I feel like putting them in the basement. But for the next few episodes, we're probably going to need a lot of the more precious stuff, and so it's going to make sense to have it close to hand and in its own dedicated chest so that we can talk about it later. The string we'll put down here in the mob drops chest, and we've actually got 2 full stacks of string now, which is great. We'll throw the clay balls in there, the glow berries in here, and I think maybe this chest up here can be minecarts and minecart rails. A transport chest seems like a good idea, and just so I remember where some of this stuff is, I'm going to start labeling them. So we'll put transport on this one. Mob drops can go here. Enchanted books in that one. Organic kind of covers all of the stuff we put in this chest, and this one here I've actually started to put copper and gold into. So we'll have copper and gold written on that sign, and I'm out of signs, but hopefully I'll start to remember where some of this stuff is in the storage system for now, and we've still got plenty of chests left over for the other resources we'll gather later. Let's see if we got enough XP from the remainder of that iron. Oh, not quite. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and mine a little bit more coal just to make up the levels, but there might still be a couple of easy to find caves around here which will still have some of those resources, because I left them when I spotted them earlier. So this is kind of why I like to leave some of these resources hanging around, just in case we need some emergency XP or a couple of extra pieces of coal. And this little gully back here had what we're looking for. Let's grab a little bit more coal from here. This should be just enough to get us over to level 30. Perfect, there it goes. We'll leave the rest of that there. Let's hop back to our enchantment table and see if we can get that fortune enchantment. We'll pop the diamond pickaxe in there, place 3 lapis, and spend our 3 levels to get Fortune 3. But what else? Just Fortune 3, it looks like. Oh well. Not to worry though, that is going to be a very valuable pickaxe for us, and between these 2 pickaxes, we are very well equipped to take on future caving expeditions. And with that, we're probably going to wrap up the episode there. I hope you folks enjoyed exploring the abandoned mineshaft with me, and good luck against those cave spiders if you go exploring in your own worlds. For now, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you folks soon. Take care. Bye for now.